Welcome back guys. Spiderman 2 received a new update just a few days ago in the form of patch 9. The game is marked as Steam Deck verified again. In this video I'll be testing it on my Rog Ally running on Windows 11 and Steam Deck running on SteamOS. This is the update log. Various performance optimizations related to Steam Deck. Updated the default preset for Steam Deck to improve performance. Performance optimizations for Venom and Symbiote section when level of detail is set to medium or lower. Updated direct storage to version 1.2.4, fixed a bug that prevented players from selecting certain items from the legend menu on the map when using a mouse, various stability improvements. I have already done my testing, still not impressed with the game's performance on Steam Deck. With a very low graphics preset, upscalers preset set to performance, FPS was within a range of 20 to 30. On Rog Ally, when we set the graphics preset to medium, VRAM usage exceeds 6 GB. If you set the UMA buffer size to 7 GB, the game will eventually run out of RAM, leading to a stuttery experience. This may not happen on Rog Ally X, as that device comes with 24 GB of physical memory, unlike the OG Rog Ally model that comes with only 16 GB of physical memory. So on my Rog Ally, I'll just stick with low graphics preset, set the UMA buffer size to 6 GB. This game supported anti-lag 2 at launch, but it was eventually removed from the game via an update, as anti-lag 2 was causing the game to crash on some Windows PCs with AMD GPUs. Unfortunately, anti-lag 2 is still missing from the game. This technology helps in cutting down the latency, very helpful when you are using FSR frame generation. First I'll test the game on my Rog Ally. I have set the UMA buffer size to 6 GB. My Ally is running on BIOS version 341. I have installed AMD GPU driver Adrenaline Edition version 25.3.1. Using a 27 watts manual profile, all three power values set at 27 watts, 720p resolution, CPU boost disabled. Connected my 8-bit to Ultimate 2C controller to allow via 2.4 GHz wireless mode. Adrenaline settings for the game. Enable FreeSync and VSync from here. Before starting the game, I'll just update in-game FSR to version 3.1.4. This will update frame generation as well. Just download Fidelity FX SDK version 1.1.4 from GitHub. I'll give its link in the description. Scroll down until you find the asset section. Click on it to expand it. Click on the .zip link here. Open Fidelity FX SDK.zip file. Open bin folder. From here just copy this DLL file AMD_Fidelity FX _DX12. Open the game's installed directory. Select the game in your Steam library. Right click, manage, click on browse local files. Paste the file here. Replace the older version of FSR upscaler with the latest version. That's it. The process is that simple. Launch the game. Game settings, 720p resolution, refresh rate 120Hz, VSync disabled. Frame generation disabled for the time being. We'll be using XCSS upscaler. Game supports version 2 using its quality preset. Dynamic resolution scaling off. I am using the low graphics preset. With low preset, some of the settings are set to medium, traffic density, crowd density. Post-processing effects disabled, motion blur strength and film grain strength set to nil. There's Spider-Man. Using a custom afterburner overlay to show you the performance metrics. Here we are hitting the GPU bottleneck, FPS is close to 42. Swinging through the city. It's a dusty environment here. No traffic at all. And you can see FPS is very variable. This is disappointing. 31 to 45. Frame pacing issue. Frame generation can help in improving frame pacing. Here you can see FPS is variable. You can see some traffic. I'm observing some hitching here. Not impressed by the performance. I'll enable frame generation now. Frame generation set to FSR. Resume the game. Keep an eye on the frame pacing graph. We'll be swinging through the city. Can observe the added amount of smoothness. Frame generation is working very nicely. Look at Spider-Man's shadow, it's flickering. Common FSR frame generation related artifact. It's highly recommended to enable frame generation in this game, at least on Rog Ally. Massively improves the performance. Reduces that noticeable hitch. Works as a band-aid for the game's poor performance. Crime reported. It's nearby. Go to the location. Here VRAM usage is close to 5.5 GB. Almost hitting the GPU bottleneck. 90% GPU load. So the area is limited by the single core CPU performance. They are on the rooftop. Finally made it. Oh, that's Miles. I'll help him. Performing fancy moves. A decent experience on Rog Ally. On low settings. Game is definitely playable. Okay, now I'll show you a boss fight. We'll be fighting against Sandman. Very demanding sequence. I'll just disable frame generation first. Frame generation off. Playing as Miles, there's Sandman. Oh my god, he's angry. Swinging wildly at me. FPS is close to 40. Again, it's recommended to enable FSR frame generation. Good to see that FPS stays above 30 during the fight sequence. I'll quickly take him out. Use my best. There you go. You can see the particle effects. There's the sequence, very demanding. There's Peter. Blasting the water tank on his face, his weakness. Yeah, this is a cutscene. Cutscenes in this game are very demanding. See the very variable FPS. This is a chase sequence. There's Sandman. We are running for our life. Need to dodge Sandman attack. Yeah, 40 to 45 FPS here. No audio stuttering. RAM usage is close to 5.2 GB. Just enable FSR frame generation. Scripted combat. Even this sequence is very demanding. Oh no, I missed my attack. Quickly clear the area. FPS is staying close to 40. I'll just enable frame generation now. Frame generation set to FSR. Resume the game. The FPS increased to around 70. Yank this guy. More of these things. Yeah, weak against water. Use the venom punch. FPS drop to 60 there. Oh my god, almost took me out. Okay, so now I'll be testing the game using the medium graphics preset. FPS dropped to 53 there. Preset set to medium. Post processing effects disabled. Frame generation disabled. I'll just set the UMI buffer size to 7 GB now. Yeah, we are in. On the streets, swinging around the city now. FPS is a bit variable, 40 to 45. Look at that VRAM usage. It's close to 6.1 GB. Need to stop this guy. 30 FPS. Look at this, so disappointing. VRAM usage is increasing. So would not recommend using the medium preset on OG Rog Ally. Ally X should be able to handle it. I'll just enable frame generation. While testing the game, I noticed that the game starts to stutter excessively after playing it for about an hour with medium graphics preset. Frame generation applied. Resume the game. Yeah, VRAM usage increased to around 6.3 GB. Frame generation is doing a good job of improving the performance. with a slight increase in latency. Shouldn't be a problem for this game. Not very aim intensive. 60 to 70 FPS with frame generation on. Not the ideal experience. It is what it is. Crime reported nearby. Quickly show you some combat as well. See some NPCs on the rooftops. It's a bustling city. Made it. Thick foliage है. Good for testing the game. Where are these guys? Not here. Down here. Quickly clear the area.
What a coincidence! I like stopping robbers.
Yeah, game is starting. See, I told you. Just one guy is remaining. He's done. Show the boss fight as well. Oh my god, look at that VRAM usage. 6.7 GB. FPS dropped to 55, and this is with frame generation on. You get the idea. Yeah, these scripted fights and scripted cutscenes are very heavy on the GPU. Like this guy. Poor Sandman. Waiting for Peter. Blast Sandman with the water tank. Yes, Spiderman. And this is a cutscene. Few hiccups here. So the game is playable on Rog Ally using the medium preset, but exhibits more stuttering than the game running at low preset. Now I'll test the game on Steam Deck. It's the LCD variant of Steam Deck. Display supports up to 60Hz refresh rate. I'll be using Proton version 10.0-1 beta as the compatibility layer. I'll update FSR 2 version 3.1.4. Just download FSR Fidelity FX SDK version 1.1.4 from GitHub. Give its link in the description. Expand the asset section, click on the .zip link here. Open Dolphin File Explorer, click on Downloads. Here look for Fidelity FX SDK archive file. There it is. Open it. Expand bin folder. From here you need to extract one DLL file. This one, AMD underscore Fidelity FX underscore TX12. Drag and drop it outside of the archive window. Select the file, cut it. Open the game's installed directory. Select the game in your Steam library, right click, manage, click on browse local file. Paste the DLL file here. Replace the existing DLL file with the latest version, override. That's it. Switch to SteamOS game mode. Gain Steam Deck compatibility verified. We'll see. Performance QM settings, overlay level set to 2. Uncap FPS by enabling disable frame limit and allow tearing settings. In-game settings, 800p resolution, VSync off, using the very low preset, XeSS upscaler using its performance preset. Everything set to low or very low, effects disabled, ray tracing off, post-processing effects disabled, motion blur strength and frame sense set to nil. There's Spiderman. I'll just swing through the city, keep an eye on the FPS counter. The FPS is close to 30. Hitting the GPU bottleneck here. Image quality is looking a bit pixelated as expected using the performance preset of the upscaler after all. 28 FPS. Animation quality is looking a bit jarring. I'm looking for a crime scene. Yeah, it's 30 to 40 FPS. Crime reported. It's nearby. Let's use my glider. 27 FPS while swinging through the thick foliage. Not the ideal experience on Steam Deck, but the game is playable. Oh, it's a vehicle. Missed it.
Think you ran a few reds, guys.
Audio is not stuttering. Good time event.
No, you ain't taking us.
27 to 30 FPS. Stop them. Okay, I'll enable FSR frame generation now. Frame generation set to FSR. Apply. Resume the game. Yeah, FPS increased to around 45. Can observe the added amount of smoothness, but there is some noticeable latency as well. It's completely up to you whether you want to use frame generation or not. Spidey shadow will flicker after enabling frame generation. See, flickering becomes more aggressive at lower base FPS values. 40 FPS with frame generation on, you get the idea. Better off playing the game without frame generation on Steam Deck. Stuttering. Okay, I'll just disable frame generation, show you the boss fight against Sandman. Check out the input delay, moving the stick around. Frame generation off. The scripted sequences and cutscenes in this game are very heavy on the GPU. Playing as Miles, here's Sandman, and you can see FPS dropped to 24. This is disappointing. Particle effect, sand. I'm using my web. Smash his face. Your deck is struggling to maintain steady 30 FPS during the boss fight. Oh my god, whack me. I'm waiting for Peter to help me. Smash a water tank on his face. There he is. Cutscene. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. 25 FPS है. It's variable. 25 to 40 FPS using the very low preset. Upscaler preset set to performance. Chase sequence. Dodge. Yeah, here 30 FPS is possible. After this, I'll show you some combat. Yeah, 30 FPS throughout the sequence. We'll be using Miles Venom Punch. Just keep an eye on the FPS counter here. 27 FPS again. Area opened up. Dodge. Yank the thing towards me.
Only way is up. All this destruction from one guy.
Use water to slow them down. Even in this sequence, tech is struggling to maintain a steady 30 FPS.
Where are you, Pete? Stay inside!
23 FPS. That's it for the video guys. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.